When you walk away from Jon Moxley, you don't just walk out the door. You paint a target on your back so big that the entire locker room can see it from space. Welcome back to Wrestling Realm Unplugged. I'm James. Look, the dust has barely settled on AEW Redemption, and Detroit's Masonic Temple Theater hosted a Wednesday night broadcast that completely rewrote the entire landscape heading toward All In at Wembley Stadium. Everybody is talking about the gold-changing hands, but what happened behind the scenes in the parking lot? That's what's keeping me up at night. Let's go back to how Dynamite opened. Will Ospreay didn't wait around for a backstage interview or a polite corporate announcement. He walked right up to the Death Riders and said it straight, he is out. Done. Finished with them. Wait, hold on. Think about what that actually means. You don't just casually detach yourself from Jon Moxley's orbit after everything they've built. And Moxley didn't even look surprised. He just stood there with that eerie, terrifying calm, telling Ospreay he must have it all figured out. Later on, Renee Paquette tries to get a word with him in the hallway, and before Ospreay can even catch his breath, here come the Death Riders again. Daniel Garcia steps up, tries to flex, calls him young boy Billy, and Ospreay doesn't even let him finish the sentence. Boom. Back elbow straight to the side of Garcia's head, right out in the open. Pac comes flying in, Moxley has to physically hold him back, and Mox looks right at Ospreay and asks, "Are you sure you want to do that? Are you kidding me?" Will Ospreay is officially operating on death ground, and he doesn't even care who's standing in his way. If cutting ties with the most dangerous faction in the company wasn't enough, Ospreay had to walk right into a powder keg with Kenny Omega later that same night. Let's look at the history here. At Redemption, Omega dropped Ospreay with the one-winged angel. Moxley sat there watching it happen on a monitor, practically calling the shot beforehand. And now, on Dynamite, instead of patching things up, Ospreay and Omega get into a heated, face-to-face shouting match that nearly turned into an all-out brawl. Even Hangman Adam Page tried to step in and offer some advice, but Ospreay blew him off completely. He doesn't trust Kenny, he doesn't trust Page, he doesn't trust anyone. He's completely isolated himself right when the biggest show of the year is staring him down in London. Who does that? You cannot go into Wembley Stadium with zero backup against the entire Death Riders machine. Look, if you're still sitting here with me breaking down this madness, you aren't just casual background noise fans. You want the real details. Do me a quick favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's keep this community growing. Now get back here, because the rest of this Detroit card was pure chaos. Because it wasn't just Ospreay losing his mind, the championship picture took a massive hit across the board. The conglomeration walked into Detroit defending the World Trios titles. But they ran straight into a buzzsaw named The Demand. Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona took those belts home. And how did they do it? Thanks to a sneaky assist from the Lethal Twist. Ricochet is draped in gold, and the power dynamic in the tag division just completely shifted. And talk about emotional whiplash, Willow Nightingale comes out to celebrate her historic Grand Slam Women's Championship win from Redemption, and before she can even soak in the cheers from the Detroit crowd, Mercedes Mon's music hits. Mon doesn't even wait for a microphone, she shoves the All-In contract right in Nightingale's face. Before Willow can blink, Divine Dominion hits the ring and lays her out cold until the Brawling Birds make the save. The lines for London are officially drawn in blood. AEW is moving at a terrifying speed right now, and the road to Wembley is officially a demolition derby. So I gotta hand the question over to you. Did Will Ospreay just make the biggest mistake of his career by cutting off the Death Riders and freezing out Kenny Omega, or is he about to shock the entire world at All In? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Hit that subscribe button if you love unhinged wrestling breakdowns. And remember, I'm James, and I'll catch you in the next one.